Hello, welcome to the Carnegie Report. We are right at the end of August, almost September. I'm Gary Peer.
And I'm Leo Samuel.
Leo Samuel, what is going on in the market? It's changed a lot very quickly.
Has very much so, and the buyers are out, and I wish we had some more listings, Gary, but we've had an amazing month so far, and a lot of sales at auction, a lot before auction, and also some off-market sales as well, been in and out, as we like to say.
I want to launch into the most recent result that just staggered and floored the entire Carnegie community, if not the Melbourne community. Let's talk about the property Mimosa Road. How many bidders do we have there? Are you serious, by the way, about that number?
Not one, not two, not six, not even 10.
It's a short show.
Call it 13.
Cut to the chase.
13 bidders, Gary.
That's just unbelievable. 13 bidders at an auction. That is as big as we've ever seen.
Now, have you ever had an auction with 13 bidders?
I can't remember, but mind
Proud
you,
to say 21 years into it, I've been it, never had an auction like that.
I don't think I have either, mind you. My memory's not what it was, but I'm pretty sure I would have remembered 13. I think I've had 7, 8, 6, 10. 13 is incredible, and it really just goes to show the strength out there in the market at the moment for a certain. I mean, was there anything particularly incredible about that property? Give us a profile of what it was like.
Single level villa unit, 2-bedroom at the front. Courtyard's always a big hit, but price point, anything sort of at 650 to 7 is going really hot. First home buyers, investors, downsizers as well. Also, I'd like to think there's a limited amount of offerings similar to that on the market, which definitely made a difference. But the numbers over the 4 weeks was unbelievable coming through.
Sold for $821,000.
That's right.
We did not expect that price, although we knew we had a popular property. And I was saying to Phil on the GPTV, the sister program, it's very tough to value stuff at the moment, because if you look back 6 months ago, and the Victorian government in their guidelines to agents of how to set up what they call the statement of information of comparable sales, you can go within a 2-kilometre radius, and you can go in the last 6 months. But I reckon if you picked something from 6 months ago, I don't know how much relevance it's going to have to the market right now.
Yeah, it's very.
What do you reckon?
100%. And look, the thing is as well, like, there was a sale the week before this one as well, which was 3 bedrooms of villa unit. It sold for over 700. So you think, once you hit that 700 territory, hitting 3 bedroom. But you're absolutely right, Gary. Not much around, but pricing a few months ago versus now, I'd like to think a new precedent's being set. A
combination of the skillful agent, good marketing, good property, well-priced property, and of course, a wonderful database.
And I want to shout out also to David Thompson and Aviv Samuel, who handled the campaign alongside myself. I was the auctioneer. But amazing numbers through, but they handled it really well. And congratulations to both purchaser and the vendor there.
Well, really, we have 7 auctioneers across the company, but we have 2 in-house now in Carnegie, don't we? Between Carnegie and Murrumbeena, where you've got yourself, and we've got David Thompson, and we've got Graham Cullen. I beg your pardon, sorry, but we have 3 in-house auctioneers now sitting and living in the Carnegie Murrumbeena district and servicing that office. But of course, Philip and I also get a gig every now and then in the Carnegie marketplace. And Simon McDonald, we roll him in as well, and I say that with a smile on my face, because Simon's an incredible auctioneer. So certainly plenty of auctioneers to choose from, and it's great to have David Thompson in the buzz and hum of the office, since we, of course, for those who are not up with the news, of course, we have joined forces with Thompson's Murrumbeena, and that's been a great
And on
success.
that note, Gary, and I'm proud to say we're the only office agency in postcode 3163, Glen Carnegie Murrumbeena, with 2 offices, one at 42 Koonang Road and 71 Murrumbeena Road. So, covering 3163 as a whole.
So the point of that is we pay a lot of rent, just in case you're interested to know what the relevance is. No, we do have a lot of resources, a lot of managements, and most importantly for sellers, a lot of buyers, but unfortunately not as many sellers as we'd like, which is an industry problem and a buyer problem now. If you're a buyer out there, it's a frustration. There's just not much out there.
Exactly right.
So certainly people are taking advantage of jumping on what they think is good real estate or what suits their needs and budgets. Ellie Manor Road was sold on Saturday in the afternoon last week.
Yeah, sold it for a great client of mine. 2 bidders going for this one, expecting interest in that sort of mid 1.3s. Gary ended up selling for $1,395,000 for a lovely couple from Richmond, and they're going to enjoy the pocket there, close to Left Field Cafe and Packer Park.
I'm sure they will. Kooraga Road, Carnegie, another sale of ours, a sort of bite-sized property in terms of price. Tell us about that.
Sold for $420,000, a great entry point to the first home buyer market, this one, and sold well on the day.
One of the more popular sales, the price is undisclosed, in Poplar Grove, Carnegie. Take us through that one quickly.
Another great campaign with lots of buyers coming through. We had 3 bidders competing for this one. The price was undisclosed, but happy to say that it sold a touch over 1.7.
A 1-bedroom apartment, $400,000, would have to be a good one. Tell us about that one in Buran Road.
Buran Road, we love selling in Glen, corner Buran and Hawson Avenue there. 1-bedroom apartment. Jeremy Rosen did the auction on behalf of Idan and Darren Krongold. Expecting interest around $350 for this sale. And I came to the auction right at the end, sold for $401.5 to someone actually just rolled into on the day.
That's happening more and more too.
And on that, Gary,
about that. Yes.
Fresh off the press, my brother Aviv Samuel found the underbidder, or found a buyer off the file, I should say, actually, and ended up selling another one in the block as well.
And that's why for buyers, so some buyers will say to us, oh, don't annoy me, we'll see it online and we don't need to be called. But for some buyers who are genuinely in the market looking, log and register your details and take our calls, because we are selling properties off market. There are opportunities out there and you will miss them if you wait for them to go online, because they don't always go online. That's right, the reality, isn't it?
Exactly right. But definitely register your details and speak to us. We're more than happy to help in all avenues.
We are big in Melbourne, and I'm talking about Melbourne as a city. I'm talking about Melbourne Street in Murrumbeena. Take us through this sale.
Melbourne Street, Murrumbeena. Great one-bedroom apartment. Literally, we had it listed. Buyer, hot off the press. Wanted to buy it, stop the competition, stop the show going on the road, ended up selling before auction, literally before the first open for inspection, for $378,000. Sometimes that's what happens. A buyer, before the whole campaign starts, they just want to get in.
They step up to the plate and have a swing at the bat and buy. Blackwood Street, Carnegie, take us through that quickly.
Blackwood Street, another off-market sale scheduled for auction, but once again, we manage the property, sold to a local investor, $265,000 for a nice one-bedroom apartment close to our office.
And Tranmere Road, we finished with that one as another sale, just to inform buyers and interested parties what's going on out there in the market.
Tranmere, two-bedroom, two-bathroom apartment. We passed it in and we sold it a few weeks later for $560,000.
We've got some great offerings coming up. I've been personally involved in one on Hawson Avenue. This starts this weekend. And I just want to talk about this as a little bit of a home of the week. This is the most incredible property. It's got a very pretty facade, as you'll see here. Pretty but modest facade. But once you walk in that front door, Leo, you are looking at one of the most exquisite renovations, one of the most beautiful homes. This family home will impress upon inspection. And when you walk through and you go to the living area and you look over that deck at that beautiful pool with all of the palm trees, and you can see it now, we're actually in the property now. It feels pretty good. Wouldn't mind sitting down by the pool. It looks good. This is something special. We're looking forward to this one. We've got Jack Slater and Adriana who are handling the sale of that. And this one, as I said, starts this weekend. We're not sure exactly where it's going to end up on price, but we know we're going to have a lot of interest in it.
And one thing I can tell you, as a local resident in Glen Huntly, very rare do house opportunities come up. And living in Glen Huntly myself, I'd love to buy a house there, and unfortunately we can't buy our own offerings, Gary, but this one's definitely one to check out.
That's all right, we'll buy from one of the competitors, Leo. It might be a little bit cheaper that way anyway, you never know. Let's talk about what else is on offer. We've got a smorgasbord of good offerings coming up. Take us through some of them.
St Huberts Road, one at 4 to 6, a lovely two-bedroom villa unit that Jack Slater's handling there. It's beautiful blank canvas.
Bit of trivia, can I just interrupt you? Bit of trivia, my first auction I did was in St Huberts Road.
Really?
Yeah, first auction I did. Philip's father sadly had a heart attack and was sick. He had to rush back to Cootamundra, New South Wales. So I stepped up to the plate, did the auction, did an awful job, but actually got the property sold. Wasn't that bad.
How old were you, 21?
No, I was in my early 20s. But
young and hip back then.
When we were, well, I think I'm still hip now, but certainly that was a great learning opportunity. But what a great place to start.
Did your preamble talk about how important is investing in real estate, bricks and mortar,
of course,
long term?
Of course, position, all of those cliches. I use them all, but it was a great opportunity, great spot. And Philip's father now, he's I think he's well into his 80s, and he's still kicking and going strong. Although he's had a bit of illness lately, so David, he had a bit of an injury. So, but anyway. Get well soon, David. Watching the show. But St Huberts Road, thought I'd interrupt, throw that in. Back to you.
So yeah, we've had really good interest in this one off the back of Mimosa Road. We had a lot of people missing out on that, now checking this one out, but should go really, really well. Good subdivision there. It's one at the front, and the big courtyard on title is a big plus on that one as well, Gary.
Fantastic. Continue, Leo. What else we got coming up?
6 at 245 Murrumbeena Road, Murrumbeena, a property that we manage, a lovely renovated one-bedroom apartment. Renovated by the famous architect in the local area, Avi Milder. And I actually sold this apartment to this client. But in terms of one-bedroom renovations, you should check this one out for design ideas. But perfect first home opportunity, or investors, get your hands on this one.
Nearham Road, also another great address. We've had some good success there. Tell us about this property.
Nearham Road, a lovely split-level residence there. David Thompson's handling that, has had good numbers through there. Lovely two-bedroom home. It's got plenty of courtyard space, as well as a lock-up garage, but yeah, close to all the action, Koonang Road, and not too far from the train station.
And not too far from Grange Road, and we've got one coming up there too. Take us through that one.
Grange Road in a near new subdivision there, lovely apartment there, one bedroom. Jack Slater's had the privilege to represent the client on this one. It's going really well, close to all the action, near E-Gun Reserve, as well as the Ormond train station as well.
You've got Nearham Road, you've got Grange Road, and then you've got Glen Huntly Road. We've got an offering there. We're doing it in beautiful...
Hopefully not the Bermuda Triangle, Gary.
No, I hope not. Don't think so. We're doing it it by Melway here.
That's
doing
right.
listings by Melway. Take us through that one.
So that's a lovely apartment as well. It's a 1-bedroom. We actually sold recently a 2-bedroom there. Last edition, we mentioned that one. But yeah, a 1-bedroom apartment there, not far from the 67 tram, not from all the action nestled between Koonang Road and Glen Huntly Road shops. A lovely 1-bedroom apartment, nice and spacious, and full of natural light, that one as well.
Is there a better address than Koonang Road? Probably not. Great buzzing street. What's going on there?
Koonang Road, well, the action happens. Graham's had a lot of people through this villa unit as well. We talked about how popular villa units are with that Mimosa Road sale. If you're looking for something single level, close to all the action in a small subdivision, definitely check this one out as well.
That's a big wrap. There's a smorgasbord of fine offerings coming through for spring, and it's getting exciting, isn't it? The racing season's opening up, the sun's coming out, and some of the best properties of the year come through in spring.
That's right.
Generally, the biggest offerings come through in spring. So if you're a buyer, even though this spring is not going to be as plentiful of listings as other springs, there will be probably more than there has been in June and July and maybe even August. So get your roller skates on, get out there, because it's only a small window. By the time we get into November and certainly December, it all sort of shuts on down. So the September, October, November quarter would have to be the quarter with the most offerings in the year in, year out. So
it's amazing to think that whatever we're having starting this week, Gary, in early September, like end of September, is your auction week, and with the grand final weekend as well. Then it's all going to be October. Really not many weeks to list for this year as well.
We're running out of time. The Murrumbeena Thompson's office has now been branded.
It has.
We've put our mark on there.
Facelift.
How are we going there? Tell us a bit about what's going on there.
We've just we went through the first 2 months with the recent merge acquisition there, and proud to say that we've got now power connected to the lights out the front. So it's beaming over Skyrail, so you can check our faces up from Carnegie Murrumbeena. Make sure before you swipe off in the mic, you get a view of our offices
Exactly
as well.
right. If you're travelling on the line, you'll see our office on both. We should try to get an office on every station.
Well, it's actually perfect because it's not the express. Once you pass Caulfield, it zooms past.
Exactly
they strategically for us make sure they stop nicely at Hughesdale, Murrumbeena, then Carnegie.
Exactly, and they get a nice view of our offices, all three. And then, of course, in the Carnegie office, you can actually literally look right into the train, can't you? They can see. In fact, I'm going to actually get a few people to mystery shop the team, make sure they're at their desks when they drive past and check no one's snoozing or doing anything inappropriate. Of course, that wouldn't happen, but that's a big wrap on the Carnegie Report in this late August, early September 2019. I'm Gary Peer.
And I'm Leo Samuel.
We'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.